Okay, this is my first vlog since how many weeks?
Oh, really?
Yeah, you are.
Oh, okay. Good. It's always me that we begin with.
Really?
I think the first time you talked to someone, wasn't it me? And then my first podcast was you?
Yeah. Welcome back to my channel. It's just Julia here. I've been MIA for how many weeks now, and everybody's been saying like, it was a vlog, it was a vlog. I think I got carried away with the holidays, so
Yeah.
it's like end of January and I feel like it's still the holidays. The first time Chloe was on my channel, my living room was a totally different space.
Yeah.
It was much
It
darker.
reflected what you were going through.
Oh my gosh, we didn't put that. Okay, fine. But now everything is bright, light,
I'm
positive,
happy.
and
I don't think I'm gonna cry this time for a change.
Oh yeah, no, we're not gonna cry because
Yeah,
our
no
topic
more.
is going. It's not gonna make us emotional.
I mean, we'll see.
Your book?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, don't cry. Okay.
Well, this is going to be an interesting one because the last time we were just chatting away, as always. Chloe is a bookworm. She probably reads 2,000 books every month and probably read 10,000 last year. And coming into 2021, I told her that, you know, I want to be a bookworm like you. Please recommend me some books. And a lot of people probably don't know what to read also for this year.
Yes.
And you've read a lot of good ones last year.
Yes.
So we are here today.
Okay, just a disclaimer though.
Okay.
I don't know how to review books because I've never done this. I usually just keep it to myself or like friends. You know, a lot of what I'm gonna say is really just how I remember the story.
Personal experience.
What I took away from it, how it made me feel. So it's very personal. If you've read these books and I'm wrong about anything, don't judge me.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll talk about 5 books that I think they're not challenging to read. It's a good way to, I think one of these, at least one of these will be fun for you to read. That's why I brought 5 different kinds because I don't know, just for variety.
These are the 5 books that Claudia recommend for 2021.
Wow, I feel so pressured.
Yeah, you are. Pressured? Oh, I thought you were gonna be like, I feel so precious.
Pressured.
Pressured, but you're also precious.
No, okay, thank you.
Okay, welcome. Alright, let's not flatter each other. Furthermore, let's start with the first book that you ever gave me, which was...
Oh, okay.
Oh, is it the first book you ever gave me?
I think it is the first book I ever
Because it's the first time I also asked for a book.
Yeah, this one is Educated by Tara Westover. I'm sure a lot of people have heard it. You probably see it on everyone's Instagram stories. It's not unknown. It's very popular, actually. And when I think about it, it's so piercing in the heart, especially like with the way she just chronicles her life. It's like, how is this even possible? Like, how are all these things real, or how do they happen in real life? And I just love getting into people's lives because I think it's so personal. Okay, so I just really like it because it's so personal. And when you think about people writing about the story of their lives, you think, oh, like how could they possibly be talking about, let's say, the tree today? Because sometimes they start the story by explaining like their environment, and sometimes you think it's so irrelevant, but then it ties together all the important details. I don't know, how would you describe how you felt when you read this?
I think last year I didn't read a single book. So this was the first book that I'm reading again. And this is Chloe's Christmas gift to me, but no choice but to read it.
No choice.
I'm just kidding. I started in chapter 1. I was already hooked.
Yes.
And I remember after another chapter and then another chapter, I said, okay, wait, I know I shouldn't be doing this, but I have to research the author already because I was in awe. I was in disbelief. Like, you're right. Like, I couldn't believe it was real life.
But more than anything, I mean, if you want like a sneak peek into what it really is just about this woman, Tara Westover, and how like her entire family was kind of, they weren't aware of mainstream society, or they were and they didn't particularly like abide by certain norms.
Yeah.
So her life is was very different. Her upbringing was very different. what I always tell people when they're afraid to start reading is that you don't have to read like a classic right away, or you don't have to pressure yourself into reading like something really difficult or too intellectual. It only takes one book that makes you feel a certain way, and then you're gonna keep like craving for that same feeling and want to try reading other books, just because it's so amazing if you think about how much thought goes into writing a book.
And then I remember telling Chloe, like, I was after one chapter and then like the second and then the third, and I said, Chloe, I started to feel scared because when I was so into it, I kind of felt like, oh my gosh, like, is this the beginning of me just wanting to keep reading books? It's how it felt. I couldn't wait till I finished the book for me to research the author. Yeah, I was in the middle of the book and I just needed to research about her. She's amazing.
That's so funny, actually. I never once researched her until after. After
reading?
Yeah. I just wanted to see what she looked like, and if, you know, like, see her, like...
And she speaks well.
Of course!
She speaks so well.
She's amazing! So if you want to read...
this is so good.
A story
this
about
is so good.
Tara Westover, then you should read this. It's super good.
It's super good.
Okay, next. This one is non-fiction. A lot of people know this also. It's called Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell. No, it's just stories about successful people, and it explains how several different things make you successful, but more importantly, what this opened my eyes to was the fact that a lot of different environmental factors are actually plays a really big part in your success.
So it's not just about one person's success. No. Oh, a lot of different people.
And so it also like focuses on the environment that you grew up in, the historical time, like how all these different things contribute to the kind of person you're going to become. But also, while it focuses on those environmental factors, right? So like your upbringing, the opportunities that you grew up with, it also kind of reminds you that either way, you can do what you have to do to succeed. Like you just have to work hard for it. But some books take me longer, especially if they're a bit emotional, because it's hard.
Yeah, I think the last time I cried over a book was when Hunger Games, when who died? Rue?
That's so long ago.
Oh no, stop! The last time I cried was because of this book. You know when?
When?
When the...
Yeah.
So that kind of knocked on my heart.
And this one is another novel. It's called Beartown, and this was actually given to me by Basti, because he read it before me. I like this because, well, obviously it's about a town, Beartown.
Yeah.
I like it because it kind of talks about, you know, how in this small town, you know, what different kinds of things they value in that particular small town. And I like how the scenery here is so vivid. Like, whenever the characters would be running in the forest or it would be snowing, like you can really feel it.
You can picture it. It's his way with his words.
Yes, and I like it because the first time you read it, every time a new character is introduced, you feel like you won't remember them because there's just too much. Like every single chapter.
Wait, what? Like a lot of characters.
Yes, and sometimes like the person who's talking changes. You think you'd get confused, but you won't, because the characters make such an impact to the rest of the story. So I would say I like this book because of the scenery. I like the group of characters. Well, what I took away from this was just a lot of the importance of friendship also. So this is a nice one to read if you're into that.
Actually, I think that's interesting to do for like every book. So let's say for Educated, when you finish it, what did you pick up from the book?
Okay, what did I pick up from the book? That it's okay to unlearn some things that you thought were good before.
Whoa.
Yeah.
To unlearn some things that you thought
were good before. Like, it's okay to be wrong about something.
Yeah. What did you think?
What I took away from this is that while, you know, the plight that we're handed in life has a great effect on our lives, you still are in control of what you make of yourself.
Yeah.
Beartown is that there are two sides to every story.
Really? Mm-hmm. This one?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
That there are two sides to every story. Okay, yeah, let's do this.
My Sisters the Saints?
So this is more spiritual, but it's also about Colleen Carroll Campbell, the author of this book. It's so nice because if you're into Christianity or anything like that, this is I just wanted to make sure there was a variety in these 5 books. So if you're into Christianity, it's a really good book. She's just basically telling her story about, you know, how she dealt with what her relationship was like with the Christian faith and trying to figure out her life and what her purpose was.
I see a highlighted page. I want to read it.
Okay, you can read it.
Okay, she highlighted this part, so I'm curious.
It's the one thing I highlighted on it.
Okay, you read it.
Oh, okay. One of the most grievous kinds of life, which I think can be imagined, for I had neither any joy in God nor any pleasure in the world. When I was in the midst of worldly pleasures, I was distressed by the remembrance of what I owed to God. When I was with God, I grew restless because of worldly affections. So, how I understand that is like whenever she was feeling very worldly, she was constantly reminded of how much she was neglecting God in her life. And then whenever she was with God, she couldn't just focus on Him and was thinking about worldly affections.
So what did you take away from this?
What I took away from this, just allow your life to unfold the way that it was planned. Because like there are some things we can control as it unfolds right before us. On a grander scale, it'll just happen the way that it's meant to happen. Like things are going to happen exactly the way that they're supposed to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. And my last book, oh, this is the most heartbreaking book in the world.
Yeah, why did you
hold on? It's just so heartbreaking. This one's Norwegian Wood by Haruki Murakami. Before reading this book, I read Sputnik Sweetheart. It's the only 2 books that I've read from him so far. This book, it took me more than 2 weeks actually to read. It took me like 3 weeks to finish just because of how it hits too close to home.
Why did you feel super emotional with this? Whoa, there's so many highlights.
Because this author, the way he writes is so unusual. The way he describes feelings of isolation, the way he describes feelings of loneliness, the way he describes heartbreak, it's so
really
vivid.
Really?
Yeah. What I tell people is most of the time when you start reading his books, you think you wouldn't understand what he's trying to say, but then you realize it just makes perfect sense.
Wait, this is funny. Like my hairstyle, it's great. How great? Great enough to knock down all of the trees and all the forests of the world.
That's why let me get to that point.
Okay, sorry.
Because I also believe that in life there are some things that you can't really express with words. Like it's so kulang. Like it's not enough, or it doesn't capture what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I like how he just creates his own world for certain things so that they describe what he's trying to say. I know that doesn't really make sense, so I'll give an example. The girl that he was talking to in this part of the book, I hope this is not a spoiler.
No,
whatever.
It's fine. I mean, they clicked it.
Okay. You can skip this part if you want. So like this girl that he was talking to goes, say something to me. And then he goes, what do you want me to say? And then finally he says, you're really cute. And she goes, what do you mean really cute? And then he says, so cute the mountains crumble and the oceans dry up. And then he also says, I really like you. How much is a lot? Like a spring bear. The girl goes, how much do you love me? And he goes, enough to melt all the tigers in the world to butter. Oh, it's just so profound. I love it.
Okay. But you'll never incorporate tigers and butter.
Yeah,
so
and
it's
them,
so unique.
And them melting.
And them melting. I've never heard of a melted tiger.
Like, how do you tell someone you love them that much, right?
Before we end this vlog, which of all of these books really just had an impact on you? Like, moved you?
Yes.
Yeah, I can tell.
I think that what I really love about authors is when they're able to write in a way that reflects not only the lives of the characters, but in some way, shape, or form, you can also, any reader can find something to relate to. That's what he does. Like, you feel like it's you, even if it's not you, and you find yourself in every single character. Yeah. So it's not relatable, but also really relatable. Don't be pressured, you know, like, a lot of people, I think, they get so scared to start reading because they think once they pick up a book, they have to finish it. Take your time, even if it's just 5 minutes of every day or just 2 pages a day, if that's your goal.
Yeah.
Like, just do it. If you really want to get started, just start. It's life-changing. Read like 3 pages or something.
Yeah. See ya!
See ya!
Stops. It doesn't stop. Good, good. Oh wait, we should take a thumbnail photo. Okay, we got it.
Okay.
Cut.